Hi, I'm Will, and today I'm going to talk about toxic male friendships here on the Geezer Guide to Better Living. If you have been watching any of my videos, you know that this year I'm going to try to foster better relationships and friendships with the black men in my family, with the black men that I work with, and the friends that I already have, and maybe some new friends that come around. I want to show you this video, and then we're going to talk about toxic friends afterwards.
Toxic People Tell on Themselves, Part 14, Friends Edition. Many toxic people require having friends in order to function. It's kind of like they measure their success by how many friends they have and the social status of said friends. And if you're close enough to them, it's not hard to be able to pick out which friends they deem more valuable. They rush into friendships really fast and become super familiar overnight. They integrate people they barely know into their lives very quickly, to the point that when it's happening, it almost feels like a soul connection. But the problem is, they don't see their friends as equals, or even as people. They see their friends as a list of assets. I once showed up to a friend's surprise proposal party, only to have him walk up to me and say, "Hey, you're going to be the official photographer. Where's your camera?" I reminded him that he had neither requested I bring my camera, nor had I agreed to work for free at an event that I had been invited to as a guest. He then spent the entire weekend bad-mouthing me and saying I had dropped the ball. Toxic people view their friends' connections and skills as an extension of their own resources. They also demand unquestioning loyalty from their friends, but they're always on the lookout for an upgrade. I have even heard a toxic person's friends be referred to as, quote, game pieces on a board that can be positioned and utilized to their greatest effect, unquote. But either because they've pissed people off so often or they upgraded and discarded them, they generally don't seem to keep friends very long. That's actually a really easy to catch red flag that they are constantly going out and having to find new friends. And the few friends that do stick around are usually either doormats or just as toxic as they are. As a former doormat in a variety of different kinds of relationship, I can attest to the fact that just because you're the one that sticks around through the evolving door of bosom buddies, it doesn't make them value you anymore. In fact, when the toxic person has fucked up yet again, causing all the people with self-respect to walk out on them, and you're the only one sticking around and forgiving them, their respect for you actually goes down. They will just add one more thing to the list of lines they can get away with crossing because they know you will always forgive them. And that is toxic.
That was a great video that this young lady touched on a lot of good points, and I have a few of my own points to add to this. Here are 4 things that I believe that toxic friends display. Number 1, he is secretly in competition with you. Number 2, he brings negativity into your life. Number 3, he sabotages things in your life. Number 4, everything is about him. He wants to be included in everything that you do, but don't do the same for you. Let me break this down for you just a little further. You are secretly what he wants to be. He admires you. Nothing is wrong with a little healthy competition, but the playground isn't fair if you're not aware that you're in a competition. They always cast a dark cloud on anything and everything, especially if you are doing something positive. They don't have the ambition that you do, so they hope that you fail, and they will aid in you failing. As long as the focus is on them, everything is cool. But if you outshine them in any way, They'll do something to lessen your glow. Story time. I once had this friend, we're going to call him Doug. Doug was a very average looking guy, but he had a pretty decent job. And I used to cut his hair, so we hung out, and he showed all the attributes of a toxic friend. You know, if I got too much of the spotlight, he was ready to go if we were at a club or something like that. Long as he was having a good time, everything was great. But if I was having a greater time, Doug was ready to go. So, and he always wanted to be in the same car with me. And so if he left, I had to leave. But I, being the person that I was back then, allowed this kind of behavior to happen. But the straw that broke the camel back was I brought a house. And Doug had a corporate job and I was a barber. And Doug could not believe that I could afford the house that I brought on a barber's salary. So Doug stopped talking to me. So flash forward 2 years later, Doug bought a house. And he threw a housewarming party and I came to his housewarming and I ate all his food. I drank all his liquor and I still did not talk to him. Still today, this was in the 90s. Still today, Doug tried to foster a friendship with me again, but I would not allow it because that was, to me, was a very hurtful thing that he did not revel in the joy of a black man accomplishing something very important as such as buying a house. So needless to say, I will never be friends with Doug again. And any toxic person in your life, you need to get rid of them and do not look back. I do not blame Doug for his bad behaviors because I put a lot of the blame on me because I did not speak out. Because back then I believed that friends were friends and you overlook small things, but not today. I would not be fostering any toxic friendships. All right. So I hope you get these toxic people out of your life. I'm Will, and this is the Geezer Guide. And as always, I thank you for listening. Hey, check out my 2 art websites. I'm buildthebarber.pixels.com on Fine Arts America, and I am Geezer Art on Redbubble. Be sure to like my video, share my videos, and subscribe. I love it when you comment. Let's get talking.